I'm pretty sure that if you have been doing carnivore for more than 12 days, then you have already made this thing. This is essentially really a carnivore staple. Whenever I hear the words beef, butter, bacon, eggs, this is what comes to my mind. At least once per week I see it on Reddit, and that's exactly what we are going to make today. So while we are making this, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Some of them are going to be related to the dish, others not. I mean, of course, as I said, right, the words beef, butter, bacon, eggs, that's exactly what we are going to use. I'm using half a kilo, or that's 1 pound of beef, ground beef, some butter, some bacon. This is already cut in pieces, so that's perfect. And eggs, around 6-7 eggs, we'll see. You might be wondering, hey, what is this air fryer doing here? Is he really going to use air fryer for this meal? Yes. Yeah, he is going to. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna cook the ground beef there. The reason is simple. I just want to get done with this faster, right? This is one of those things I make whenever I don't know what to eat, and then I just kind of look in the mirror and ask myself, like, that's the whole point. I don't want to know what to eat. I don't want to spend any time thinking about what I'm going to make. I have the ingredients, I'll just make them. So this is what it is. There are a couple of variations, there's a lot of things. This is essentially like a blank canvas meal for the carnivore diet, right? This is like the start, and you just go wherever from here. What I'm going to start with is I will just drop all of this ground beef into the air fryer. Just realized I can also do it while I talk. Yeah, this ground beef is from the store. Usually I do buy it from the Turkish store because that one is not filled with water, so I'm not super happy about it. So yeah, I'm just like spreading it out with my hands. I don't know, for whatever reason. This one is kind of coming apart very easily. It wasn't frozen, it wasn't pressed down or anything, but we're just spreading it out here in the Typhoon Dome too. Yeah, I mean, the one reason, as I said, like, I just wanted to be quick, but also I only have one pan, and I somehow, because of the water that comes out, especially from the store-bought meat, I can never really get it like a bit crispy. You know, I cannot brown it properly. Maybe it's just a me problem. Probably it is. But yeah, what I did is I put it in at 200 degrees Celsius. That's 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 minutes. We are going to add at least 5 minutes more, but I'm just going to like stir it around. And now, while that's happening, we are going to make the bacon happen. And also, I do find this meal to be super budget friendly. I mean, it's one of the, I think, cheapest options for you to get all the nutrition you really need. I mean, eggs and ground beef on the carnivore diet, I don't think it gets much cheaper than that. Now, I'm just dropping in some butter in the bacon, because why wouldn't I do that? And as I said earlier, right, because this is such a simple recipe that you don't need to like think about it, that's exactly why I wanted to show it to you, because I feel that, like, okay, often I make a different type of recipes, right? And they do require me to think about what to make. And maybe sometimes it feels like, hey, maybe I'm not really living the life that I advertise, right? This simplicity and like the ability that you don't need to think about food, because, well, if I post at least 2 videos per week of making something, then I clearly do think about the food. But this is more what my day-to-day looks. There are a couple of things I rotate of what I eat. This week I have been making that meatloaf that I made the last video. That I now make a lot, but it's very heavy on cheese, so I need to be a little bit careful with that if I do want to reach my weight goals. But other than that, it's this, now the meatloaf, or the carnivore pie. That I really do make a lot. It also has some cheese. Sometimes I make it without. It just depends what's in the house, right? Of course, I forgot to add salt, which is what I'm going to do right now. And this is already pretty nicely browned. I don't think I'm gonna need 5 more minutes. I do have 2 air fryers, and sometimes I cook ground beef in the other air fryer. That one does need a little bit more time, actually. So that's again why I love the Typhoon so much. Another thing what I did kind of wrong was because when I talk, I'm really bad at multitasking, so I dropped in the butter a little bit too fast. I should have at least browned the the bacon before doing so. So now I turned up the heat. It's going to be fine, guys, you know, there is no problem. We take this wooden spatula, we chop this meat up. Oh yeah, this needs like maximum 0 more minutes. It's done in 6 minutes. But yeah, one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to drain the fat. Suddenly, I feel like I don't have time anymore. Take these eggs. I think I'll do around 6. For the ultimate lazy mode, you can just crack the eggs inside of the pan. But I know myself, right? The shells and all of that, it just tends to happen. That's why I do it in the bowl first. Oh yeah, I have this. That's a funny story about this. What is this called? I don't know the English name for it. But like when we moved in, these buttons don't do anything. Like it's not working and you cannot hear it. Only the light works. So I thought, hey, it's working. Turns out there's like a little thing that you need to turn here in the wall. I don't know if you can see from the camera. And then it activates in the second floor. It's very weird. I mean, I've never experienced this. All right. Oh, that's kind of getting done. This meat-fat combination is joining. Amazing. So when I said earlier in this video in the beginning, I think that this is kind of food, this meal acts as a blank canvas. What I meant by that you can do so much with this, right? I mean, this kind of is the start of framework of many recipes. If you eat cheese, add cheese. If you eat spices, well, go wild, you know, add spices. Then again, right, when it's done, of course, I'm going to eat it simply from a plate or a bowl. You can also make maybe a carnivore wrap or like this like egg pancake and then you can wrap it all in. That's an option. You can cook up some broth and make a little soup, add some cream cheese. That's an option. So you can do a lot, right? But just start with this and maybe you have suddenly get some ideas and it won't be bad. So now we are adding this egg. I think I could have easily done more eggs, but for today it's going to be just fine. Yeah, let me turn down the heat. And you just like mix it and press it or don't do any of it, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of all of this. I'm adding more salt because I like salt. And tell me down in the comments, what do you see as your own carnivore staple? What is something that you make the most? If you want and can, then please share your recipe. Maybe I'll try it out and I'll make a video of it. That would be amazing. But yeah, I'm just curious to know, guys, like what is your top one thing that you make on carnivore that you eat the most? And also, like, you don't have to, you can really batch cook this and like kind of meal prep it. There is the thing about freezing it, that some people say that like freezing eggs is not a good idea, and maybe in general that's true. What I have found that because there's so much fat in this meal is that like the eggs really do not become spongy, but that's maybe I have only frozen this once, so I'm not in no way or form expert. Maybe you can share your expertise if you have that, right? So now it is getting ready. We are going to add more butter because we like butter. Wee! And also you. Wee! Right? It's happening. Yeah, cottage cheese goes good with it. That's pretty much all I have. And this whole thing comes together to be around 5-6 euros. So I think it's pretty cheap, at least for the prices here in the Netherlands. It's a pretty decent price. Okay, now we don't need this anymore. Now just like mixing everything together also so that the butter melts. Ta-da! And it's done. Let's serve it up and let's try it out. Perfect. There is really nothing else you need. You know, this gives you everything. The nutrition, the satiety, the happiness that we are not trying to get from food, but it still gives us. And yeah, I'm just going to eat all of this. That I'm going to let cool down, and then I will just like save for later, or if I want more, I'll just add more, right? So let's enjoy simplicity. As always, I would love to thank the channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, you can do that by clicking down below. You do not have to do that. You being here is more support than I could ever ask for. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. So what do we do with the rest of it? We vac it. Yeah, if you know the brand name of this vacuum sealing chamber, it's VVAC, so that was like supposed to be a pun, I guess. But yeah, we are going to vacuum seal it. There is a video about this machine, this beast, that I've found to love so much, although it's very big and it doesn't really fit in my kitchen, so I need to carry it back and forth. But there is a video, I'm going to pop it somewhere on the screen, that I did, I think a couple of weeks ago, about... I was making a meal prep and I was just showing all the features of this machine. But yeah, I have the rest of it. Not the rest of what you saw. I ate one more bowl because I wanted to. But this I'm going to seal for either later today or tomorrow or any other day. I mean, there is something else that I can eat. So let's start this up. And as I said earlier, yes, I mean, I'm gonna put it in the fridge, but I believe that you can also freeze it. I mean, this small portion, I don't think the eggs will become spongy if there's so much fat. There is like this chemistry, science behind it. I really do not know. And that's my dinner. So as I said, I think this is not the third time me repeating myself, but let me know what your carnivore staples are, and also let me know if you made it this far. Even let me know what do you think about this type of videos where there's no angle changes, just me, one view, doing things, talking stuff, and having fun. Thank you again, guys. Bye-bye.